What's up, everybody? Big Hurt 916, and you tune into another edition of my vlog. I want to say thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know, I'm all about that positivity and that motivation. And I try to keep you guys laced up. And I want to just talk about how they play that race card, man. How it's a manipulated tool, and never are all the facts divulged to the viewer. There's a lot of things that have been deleted from history so that certain feelings aren't embraced or talked about. And when you do your homework, you can see that this has been done to keep people in disarray and in a state of darkness. When you look at a lot of the things that take place in our society, whether it's to stand your ground, you know, whether it's, you know, don't resist, or whatever the case may be. I mean, if you see a black man with an open carry, you know, they don't have it in California, but you go to some of these other places. People have a tendency to think, oh, you know, what's up with this guy? But when you see maybe a Caucasian with the same thing, and this person says they defended themselves, then it's all to the good, you know, they were doing the right thing. And you guys have got to wake up, because it's not equal. You know, it's not being viewed the same. You see a big black guy, you see a black guy, big black guy, oh my God, he's threatening. See a big white guy, oh, it's just a big white guy. The fear that is pumped up through the media, through a lot of this social ideology, is geared towards creating circumstances and situations where people react rather than communicate. And that's the problem. Communication, understanding, and interaction. That's why we have a lot of the problems. Perfect example, Fresh Out. I interview white guys. Some of these white guys said when they're in the pen, they would never talk to a black guy. Wouldn't touch a rail that he touched, wouldn't sit at a table he sat at, would never share any food with this individual or cigarettes, what have you. But they come on a black guy's channel to voice this. So was all that in the penitentiary a farce? Was it all a front? Or was it real? Or is it showing that maybe what they had bought into with a program, and now that there's an opportunity, all that program goes out the window? You tell me. That's what kills me about racism, man. When people say, oh man, you know, they had all this hate, but then you want to mix it up if there's a benefit at the end of the day. And I don't get it, man. My stepdad's white. My nieces are mixed. My brother and sister are half white. My wife is white. I grew up around a mixed crowd, and it doesn't mean I don't love my black people any less. I don't have any love for people who don't have any love for me. I don't have any love for people who are ignorant, people who are stupid, people who have lack of just an overall understanding of how the globe works, not just the local community. I'm talking about internationally, globally. I don't have any patience or love for them. So You know, somebody once said, hey, if you loved your people so much, then why would you marry a white woman? Well, am I supposed to program love for a particular individual, or does it just happen? Be honest with you, I never plan on getting married, period. I'll even get out the pen and just be a motherfucking, excuse me, a player for the rest of my life. I didn't give a damn. I know I could always get a piece of ass. So I would never tripping off that. But when it happens, man. And it's because somebody you realize has your back above and beyond what you expected, and they supersede all perceptions that you had, you know, bought into. So yeah, I happen to get married, man, and it's worked out, and it's a beautiful thing, and it has nothing to do with race. So, you know, when you put all that into a factor, man, I'm just saying, look at the big picture, man, and how ignorant is it? Prison racism, social racism, somebody, you know, saying, oh man, you know, this is you know, this is this, you guys are just as making up stuff, or there's no privilege. There is privilege, man. There is. It's no, come on, man. You know, a lot of times you're given the benefit of the doubt. You know, I'm not making excuses because I keep it pushing, but I can understand where a lot of other people feel offended or aren't able to make certain moves because they're judged before they have an opportunity to actually execute. I had a Mexican cellie in prison a couple times. One time I had a cat, Paisa, in the cell with me. Cool dude, from Arizona. We used to cook, all that stuff, do our thing, study the law, until one day his Paisa friends got mad and didn't like the fact that he was hanging out with a Negro, and made a move. And this guy had no support from the street. He was broke. I used to feed him. I'd give him food. I'd help him, you know, buy him some hygiene when I went to the store, just because, you know, he would want to learn, you know, and I helped him with the law. But, you know, he had to move out the cell, and we couldn't talk no more. Prison ignorance, man. Racial ignorance. You're Mexican, I'm black. We both being oppressed. You know what I mean? You tripping because I'm black, and you worried about this dude, and that's the type of ignorance goes on in there. Right before I got out, I had a Mexican cellie from up north, but we rolled it out, and the blacks used to look at me like, oh man, you got this Mexican you sell, blah 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 blah. So this dude was like my brother, and still is like my brother practically, because he does more for me than my brother. And up in Northern California, we get down different. Filipino, Samoan, Mexican, Asian, you know, we rock to a different tune, man. I mean, you got every nationality, white, everybody, what's up, my nigga? That's how we get down up there in Northern California. Find out about it. Sacramento, the Bay Area is different, man. And just a different mentality. I know some white boys that got more swag than some of the brothers I know, you know. You would never know they even white. But that's what I'm saying, is like, this race shit is bullshit, man. You know, you miss out on a lot of opportunities. You know, people exploit you and use you and then throw you away. You'll hear, look at the interviews on Fresh Out. The white cast is talking about how, you know, their own people, some of their own people turn on them. So what does that say? And it's no different. You know, black guys used to be mad at me and be like, you know, oh, Big Herc think he better than us. But then they would go to my Mexican cellmate and ask him to help them with their legal work, which would in turn come back to me. So now go figure. The nigga needs help from another nigga. That's what I'm talking about, man. And I'm not, so it's not just black on white racism, Mexican on black. It's also black on black, man. Black on black people have the same issues. Ignorance. So all the way around the board, man, the race issue, man, you guys need to really do your homework, man. Read up on some stuff, go through history and find out what's really cracking, and see how everything's been manipulated by people at the very top to keep you guys caught up in this confusion and in the process, you miss out on a lot of people who could actually be helping you, who could be embracing you, who could be loving you, offering you opportunity. You know, I don't buy into it, man. And I'm conscious of it. And when I see black people being discriminated, it really makes me angry. But at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how I could change the perception and create more dialogue. And that's why I talk about this stuff, so people will make comments and say things so that we can create change. So yeah, man, I'm just sharing with you guys. And you know, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I've experienced a lot of different things that have brought me to this point. And man, it's just crazy, you know, because like I said, you know, the black and white race have been in prison, but then I got partners in Huntington Beach, Orange County, white partners. You know, we kick it, it's cool, you know, and it was never anything about my skin color that kept us from being friends. And so, you know, I put it out there because, like I said, it's better to learn this on the street before you have to go into a place where this is forced upon you and you have to do things that go against your moral beliefs. And now, if you don't follow the program, there could be dire consequences. Because, you know, if you don't, you know, separate yourself from maybe the black guy in the pen or the Mexican guy, it can get you caught up. You know, you can get killed over that, man. So on the street, man, you have a lot more freedom, but you have to you know, be able to take advantage of the opportunities before they're lost. And I'm telling you, man, I used to bang my head against the wall every day trying to figure out, you know, my next move so I could maintain sanity to get out to share this information with you guys. Because it is so stupid, the race card, man. You know, I had a Korean partner in prison, a white partner. All these guys helped me with my legal work, man. Sent money to my books, you know, helped me get on my feet. And if I would have just said, I'm not messing with them because of skin color, I would have been missing out on a lot, man. So the ignorance is out there, but you got to be able to see through it. And stay on point, man. Stay laced up. Big Herc 916.